and welcome to the Microsoft Day of Learning. My name is Pam Curry, and this session is going to be on the new, well, relatively new reading progress tool that's available in Microsoft Teams and in the assignments feature. So in a minute or two, we're just going to jump on, share screens, and start looking at how we can make use of this amazing new tool from Microsoft and get a real deep insight into our learners' reading progress and their reading abilities. So I'm just going to pop now into share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, so here I am at office.com homepage. This is where you land up when you sign into Office 365 using the office.com URL or web address. You can also, of course, if you're in Scotland, use your Go Launchpad or your local authority recommended route. So using the Go Launchpad will take you right in, it'll sign you right into Office 365. And then once you get to any app, of course, you'll see the familiar waffle in the top left-hand corner that lets us navigate to all our various apps. Now, the app that we need to focus on for this session is Microsoft Teams. I'm sure many of you became familiar with Microsoft Teams during the COVID pandemic. If you've not seen Teams already, it is a fantastic way to work online with your class or work team and share files, collaborate, and if you're a teacher and working with a class, create assignments. Just in case you're not aware of the assignments feature, this is a way for you to create specific work for classes, groups of pupils, or individual pupils. And in that work, you can share attachments, you can give instructions, you can even create rubrics for learning intentions. What we're going to do is we're just going to create an assignment. And to do that, I'm looking for the purpley Create button, which is down the bottom of my window here. And I'm just going to click Create Assignment. Okay, so this screen may be familiar to you. If not, we'll just very quickly go through the fields and we'll look at what's involved in filling and setting up an assignment. So you want to put in a title, just give it a name that makes sense, that will make sense to your learners. Add some instructions, and in that you can attach any kind of file you like, or you can create a new file, Word document, Excel, etc. One thing I really want to point out here is that if you do create a document, let's just call this Prop 26, then one thing that's really brilliant is that you can decide what the pupils do with this document. So really recommend, if you haven't discovered this already, then you can decide what students can do. Go over to the three dots on the right-hand side, and you'll get the drop-down menu, and you can decide if they edit their own copy, where you would want them to do an individual piece of work, and that will make their very own version of that file for individual pupils. You could also just get them to edit it in Word Online or in Word, or to download it. So you decide whether that's a worksheet that they just read, or they maybe all edit as a group, or if it's a piece of work that becomes personal to them, like for example, an SE task or a some kind of writing frame. So really make use of this, what you want students to do with the files. It's really, really useful. Anyway, I digress. Our main focus for the session is to look into the reading progress tool. This is a new feature. It's only rolled out in the last few months. And how we find it is we create an attachment. So I'm zooming right in so you can see under the instructions, we're looking for the paper clip and the word attach, and we just click on that. At this point, you'll see a new addition to the menu, which is reading progress. So we're just going to open it up and have a look at what's involved here. Now, I always like to start with samples and templates, just to try and get an understanding of the features of a product or app. So we're going to browse the sample library. Now, in here should be fairly straightforward, but there's a partnership in place with ReadWorks. They're in American English, okay, so there is a bit of a kind of caveat there, and again, American grade levels. But if we just start, for example, at the kind of kindergarten level, what's great is that you can have a look at the passages, see if they'll work for your learners. So you can preview, you can see which genre the reading belongs to, and then you've got this Lexile level as well. You need to map that against Lexile level charts, of course, but it'll give you an idea of the standard that's expected of someone reading this passage. You can also see the word count, which again can be a good suitability guide. So I'm just going to take a wee browse through these just now and see what we're after. So here's one on the water cycle. I'm just going to preview that, and we can see that we've got short sentences. The language and vocabulary is fairly straightforward. There are some bigger words in there, but again, nice short paragraphs, short sentences. This would be useful for one of my younger pupils in early first level. So if I click on this and select, you'll see that I get the opportunity now to see the student view. So I'm going to click on student view, and at this point, we see the full power of the reading progress tool. So what happens is a little webcam is going to pop up for the pupils and a microphone. You can see it's picking up my microphone just now. And if I were ready now to start my reading assignment, I would just click this blue button and I get a countdown when I can then start. Water moves. It goes from the land to the air. Then it moves back to the land. This movement is called the water cycle. Lakes, rivers, and oceans are made of water. You get the idea. Now, if I go up here, I come back, and I can stop my recording. So if I exit that view now, we're back into the teacher view, but I just thought that's so powerful just to see how easy it is for pupils to start reading. And it's literally just one button. There's the camera, there's the mic for the levels, one button, and they can start, they can get to the countdown and then start reading their passage. We've got features of Immersive Reader built in here, so they can click on the text, and of course they're not going to be able to get the Immersive Reader reading it aloud, but they do have the option to add filters and change the text size in there, which is just fantastic. When you get to the end, they hit I'm done, and that then previews. That's a nice screenshot of me there. That then gives them the opportunity to see it, use that recording, or to have another go if they think they could do it better. Superb. I'm going to exit out of that because of the screenshot. So here we are back in the assignment setup screen. This is for educators only, teachers only. We've got the reading level up here. We've got the genre, the number of attempts, so we can limit the number of goes they get, if you like. I'm going to say that we'll give them 3 goes. And we've got pronunciation sensitivity. So, I mean, depending on how your accents are, maybe we want to go for less sensitive there, maybe more sensitive. I'm going to stick with the default. Require video, yes or no. Depends if they have devices with webcams. I'm just going to stick with yes because I think my pupils will really like that. Then I choose next. And at this point, my reading progress assignment is set up, ready to go. I can assign this now to whichever class I want. I can choose my individual students within that class, set the date, set the deadline, add to calendars, and then save that assignment. And now we have a reading progress assignment all set up. Just going to go in now and create another one, and we'll look at some more of the passages that are available. So again, just to remind you, we would be needing a title. I'm now going to put higher English, and we'll just jump up the reading levels quite dramatically. And again, it's the attach button here. So that was attached just under instructions, and we're going to choose reading progress. Again, we're going to choose to browse this sample library, and at that point, we'll be able to have a look through some of the other levels and just get a feel for the type of language that's going on here. That for me, the early level ones, the kindergarten level 1, quite tricky. But remember, another great feature that we're going to look at is that you can upload your own files. So let's jump up a few levels. Let's go into sort of American level 3, which would be P4 for us, wouldn't it? Would it? I'm not even entirely sure of that. But anyway, here we are. We've got quite a bigger range of passages now, more availability. Again, bit of an American focus, but caveat, you can upload your own. So let's have a look at this. Which one do we fancy? Sir Isaac Newton. I'll give it a wee preview. It's more complex now, isn't it? Longer paragraphs, longer sentences. And I'm just going to choose this one and use that as my assignment. Another thing to point out, when I'm in the assignment view, if you did choose your assignment and then you think, well, actually, I'm not sure that is the best passage for my pupils, you just need to go to the top left here and we can choose a different passage. So I'm going to go back. Yep, I'm sure. I'm going to choose a new passage. We're going to browse the sample library and let's jump right up to secondary level now and have a look at the change in Lexile score and complexity of language. Let's have a look at this, say aloha to spam. We're going to preview it. And again, now much more complex. We've got 542 words. It gets a score of 1070. And of course, we can see that the sentence construction is much more sophisticated and it's much more complex. So I'm just going to select this one and then we're going to go into the student view and we're going to start this assignment. And you can see the countdown. You can see that there's much more involved. And then down the bottom, they would just click, I'm done. And then try again, would let them start all over again. I'm just going to exit out the student view. And in the next part of the video, so in the next section of this broadcast, we're going to look at what it might look like from a student point of view and an analysis of the grades and the skills and the reading progress the young person has made. So now I'm signed into the reading assignment. I'm just going to jump back out of here actually. So show you how to get to the assignment now as a teacher. So we click on the class and then we go over the left hand side here in the wee space to assignments. And then here we can see an assignment has been handed in. And it was handed in by Carol Harper, pretending to be me. So you see in the video it's actually me. I click on the assignment and we get this little video preview now that as a teacher we can just play and watch. So it takes a few seconds to get started. Shooting star is not actually a star, but people see one. So you get to see and hear your pupils reading the passage. You can also see the passage here just to double check anything, and you get this correct words per minute score, an accuracy rate out of 100 in a percentage, and then you can see how many attempts they had along the top, the Lexile level, how many words, and then various error checks here. You can also adjust the sensitivity using this slider down under the video, and you can take it down to a low sensitivity. It's not really having much of an impact on this one, but it may do if there were more errors. What you can do as well is give feedback, of course. So give some feedback and then return the assignment there. If we click on the Insights tab, then it just gives us this kind of flow of insights. There's no data there, but you could search by student or genre or reading level and then find assignments per date. You begin to get a picture of your class in terms of their reading ability. Fantastic. So I think this is great, great work, and I'm just going to send back that feedback right now and return to the student and then close that assignment off. So we're going to look now to see how we can create an assignment from a PDF or a Word document. So we're just going to click Create Assignment again, and we're going to choose Assignment, and then remember we're looking, I'm not going to bother with the instructions, but we're looking to attach a reading progress activity or assignment in here. So you'll see now, we've already seen this screen a few times. We've gone from the sample library so far, but this time we're going to upload a Word file or PDF. So I've got one saved here, it's called Climate and COP26. We're going to add that in and let's just see what happens. So it's taken all of the text, and this is just taken from BBC Newsround, so you can find text anywhere. And when we do that, we can edit the formatting a wee bit. It might be easier to add in some like keyboard returns here. There's a lot of kind of listy type stuff. It was just literally a website I stole this text from. So when you're happy with your edits, click plus, and then you can see in the student view that it's as easy as that to start your assignment from a Word document or PDF. So that was the PDF. And that means, of course, that we don't have to worry about this kind of, the Americanization. It's quite Americanized. Is that a word? It's quite American. It's designed obviously for a huge market there. But I've found many of the built-in assessments to be really useful. And obviously the fact that you can upload your own just takes it to a whole new level. So here's our assignment. We've got it attached now, and then remember we just set all our details and then save that there. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for joining this session today. It's been a real pleasure to have you join us. Remember, you can catch up on all the MDL 21 sessions on bit.ly/TA events. That's bit.ly/TA events. It's the Tablet Academy Scotland website under the events page. I hope you've enjoyed the day. Please try and catch up with some of our other sessions. Reach us on Twitter at Tablet Academy SC. Hook up with us on our website. We've got contact forms there. We're on social media all over the place. Instagram, Facebook. We're on TikTok. And we're on Twitter, of course. Be great to hear from you, and we appreciate any feedback you can give us, any sessions you'd look forward to in the future. Please get in touch, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.